Both coaches with some big decisions against a series that has so much intrigue. To Queensland in a moment. First up, as you can see, Michael Maguire's Blues in amongst that. 6 players on debut, most notably Dylan Edwards shunting Teddy at the back as fullback. Joseph Suaalii gets a crack in the starting side in the centres. So too, Dragon Zach Lomax on the wing. Cam McInnes, he's in that starting 13 as well. And then Homoli Olakau'atu and Spencer Leniu. A lot of talk about the halves. At this stage, it's Nicho Hynes alongside Jerome Luai, the 7 and the 6. Luke Keary's on standby for Hynes. And the captain, the man on screen with the never-ending smile, Jake Trbojevic. And Matty Burton is your 18th man, New South Wales. So, as Michael Maguire tries to flip the script after back-to-back series losses in his first game in charge, what sort of team is that to you, Gus?
Well, a couple of things I predicted before all this happened. Number one, that Michael Maguire would represent a new set of eyes across the whole New South Wales Origin operation, both from the way that they prepare the teams, where they're going into camp, and the way it's selected. Number two, I said there'd be a lot of shocks in this side, and we have got some shocks there. If you look through that team, this is a team that's been selected on purely work ethic, producing consistent numbers with and without the ball every weekend. New South Wales teams in the past have probably relied on talent and game breakers and people who excite the crowd and other things and then try and mould them into a team. This is a team of just hard-working individuals that week in, week out give consistency. There's not a player there, you look at the list where you say, well, I don't really know what we're going to get. You know exactly what you're going to get when they've picked this side. So they've picked what I think is more resembling a Queensland Origin team. This has got a real Queensland thought processes put behind it.
Don't be comparing the Blues to Queensland.
Well,
don't be comparing the Blues to Queensland. What the hell was that?
He studied the last couple of years and said Queensland's a very good team.
Well,
He's obviously
let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
You can't be comparing the New South Wales side of Queensland.
Listen here, Paulie. You might have got this wrong yourself. If you fail to study Queensland, you are doomed to fail.
Mate,
if you don't account for what Queensland is and what Queensland always will be, you are doomed to fail.
I understand where
I think
you're
this
going
New
with
South
this.
Wales side has finally gone with a Queensland Origin mentality and picked people that they think will work hard from the first moment to the last, right across the field.
Well, I was pretty close. I was only 3 players wrong from my side last week, so I'm quite happy with that. But
yeah, no Latrell, no Jaden Brayley, no Tedesco.
Yeah, they're the only guys I missed. Look, and I've got to say, Jaden Brayley's selection was a little bit out of love. Love the bloke. I'd love to see him get there.
Hey.
Latrell was never going to be there. I probably can admit that, although I would pick him in the side. I think he's worth the risk. But the one player I feel that he's sorry for the fact he's not there is James Tedesco. I feel he deserves to be in the side. I don't feel he deserves to be dropped. He has, and not because of what he's done for New South Wales in the past or Australia, or the fact he's New South Wales captain, because the way he's playing at the moment. Gus mentioned work ethic and how good they're playing at the moment. He's playing great at the moment. He's had 7 tries. He's had 10 try assists. He's been fantastic this year, and I just don't feel he deserves to get dropped. And I really hate saying that because I love Dylan Edwards. I think he's a fantastic player. And Dylan Edwards' position in his side does not deserve to be questioned by anyone. He thoroughly deserves it. But I just think James Tedesco, on his ability and the way he's been playing, does not deserve to be dropped. And he has been, and obviously we'll see what the result is next week. But I do feel the fact he's not there.
With Teddy's axing comes the decision to find a new captain as well. Are you happy with Jake Trbojevic leading the Blues?
Absolutely, 100%. He's a genius, Jakey. Probably the best defender in the game. Absolute team man through and through. He would absolutely relish this. He'll love it. It'll be the highlight of his career. And he absolutely deserves it. He's a fantastic player. He'll be a great leader. And congratulations on becoming captain. He's a terrific guy.
That would have been a fun conversation to have as coach, Gus, with Jakey.
Well, as I understand it, and Michael Maguire, again, with a new set of eyes across the whole operation, has interviewed hundreds of people that have ever been with Origin in the past, players, coaches, staff, current day players, current day staff, all the people that have been around in Origin. And to a man, what came back was just how respected and admired Jake Trbojevic was, how inspiring he was. And I guess that's what he's led him down the path to be the ultimate leader now and giving him the captaincy of New South Wales. It's a big job, but I think he'll do it well. And he certainly made a difference when he came into the side last year.
Gus, you seem to have a pretty good knowledge of the situation with the team over the last few months. The Api Coruscant non-selection, can you explain that to people who think that...
I've got no idea.
what do you think Reece Robson offers? Is it just purely defence that they're worried about with Api Coruscant? What's the thinking with that, do you think?
I don't know. I would say that they think they can probably get 80 minutes out of Reece Robson at the Origin level, where they can't do that with Api. Where with Api they've had to try and get someone to relieve him for certain parts of the game. Robson did play the 80 minutes last year when he was asked to do so. I don't know. All I knew was the criteria for which this team was going to be picked, knowing the people that were behind it, and that there would be some shocks in this side. It's probably not what anyone would have anticipated 4 or 5 weeks ago. I said there'll be changes. There have been changes, but when I look down the list, they're all playing with. There are 12 players out of Game 3 last year. Remember, Game 3 last year, New South Wales won 24-10. They were pretty dominant. There are 12 players in that top 18 that are no longer in this team. Of those, there are 8 that are available to play. 4 are unavailable. But they've just totally torn that up, had a new look at the team and how it should be picked, and this is the Origin side they've come up with. It's going to be tested. It will certainly be tested by Queensland next Wednesday night. That'll be the test. It won't matter too much what we think or what we say. But all those players are playing with teams at the moment that are really playing well. The only 2 teams that are struggling in that is Zach Lomax from the Dragons and Reece Robson from the Cowboys. But they've been 2 of their better players, clearly. The rest of the players are all playing with a good...
The last couple of weeks, they've won the last couple of games, and he's played really well, Reece Robson.
Yeah.
I think the fact he's a bigger body helps. Yeah, like Api's very crafty, as we know, but I think the way you get targeted in Origin through the middle of the field, I think
I think the night that Api left the field at Campbelltown with the back complaint and was still in doubt the following week, I think that sort of resonates in an Origin coach's mind. How do I replace that? How do I cover for that in a game if he's at the stage of his career where that's going to be a problem to him, or it could come against him? And they're just little things. You know, it may only be 1% of the whole issue, but it's enough for the coach to think, you know what, I need a younger, sturdier version in that area, and he's going to get all that traffic running at him. We need to do it that way.
A couple of quick ones on the Blues before we get to Queensland. Gal, the Nico Hines calf situation, we'll ask Madge more about it shortly, because I'm assuming there was some sort of test done today. He seems confident. Are you happy with the 7 and the 6 as it stands?
Yeah, the 7-6 I picked, yeah, so I think they're great. Both
even if he can't train properly?
If he can't train now, that's an issue. I personally, I think he'll be okay. I think... Look, on the weekend, I think he had Origin on his mind. He got through the game, or didn't get through the game okay, but come off the field and, look, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be able to train by certainly Tuesday, Wednesday, which gives him a whole week, 8 days preparation. And as long as he can train by Tuesday and Wednesday, I think he'll be fine.
Gus, would you have picked Latrell Mitchell?
It's too hard a question. No, I wouldn't have picked Latrell Mitchell. Do I think he's a stunningly good footballer? Of course he is. Yeah.
Why? It doesn't reflect what
trust,
Michael Maguire wants?
Probably trust more than anything. Trust what you're going to get.
And you're just not sure what you would get?
I don't know. I don't even know if he wants to play Origin. I mean, you were on this show 6 weeks ago saying he was going to pull out. He wasn't going to make himself...
He was umming because at the time he was obviously under a lot of pressure.
That's enough to turn you off. If that was true, that he was umming and ahhing, that's enough to turn you off the player, unless he wants to make a representation.
Would you have picked Joseph Spalletti?
I could have picked him as a winger. I didn't see him as a centre, but they've picked him, and God give him strength. He's playing for the Blues. We need him to go well, and we need him to win.
I think that position at centre is probably, again, a little bit questionable. He does get lost in the centre sometimes. Definitely on the wing, I would have picked him without a doubt.